Welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in all parts of the world. We are back again. It's a couple of hours to the deadline day. Couple of really strong rumors moving around. I've not really gone into much of the rumors in the last 48 hours. Decided to take a break off rumors, but we're gonna be diving into those deals that are really floating around Arsenal. What do we expect? What is happening around the club? Do we expect any big deals? Do we expect any major happenings? I've seen Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, official approach from Juve and Barcelona. That is confirmed by Sky as well. We've seen Edin Nketiah to Newcastle. That could be finalized in the final days. Arsenal still struggling to find a midfielder. Dejan Kulusevski. Spurs look like they're leading that race in the last hours. But of course, Arsenal have been leading that race in the last hours. But Spurs have overtaken in that race. Of course, the reason there is Spurs are more willing to agree to an obligation to buy rather than an option to buy in his contract from Juve. So we're going to be looking at a couple of things. Ruben Nevez, Douglas Luiz. What exactly aren't we going to look at? So make sure you smash a like on the video. Thanks. I want to say thank you to all the beautiful people who always watch my videos and do smash the like button. I'm telling you, it's if there is in any way where you've been offended by transfers and the rumor mill around us, no, I'm really sorry, but it really happens honestly with transfers. You can't be that consistent. You can't be that you can't be in line always. It's so difficult to keep up with all the information. Some true news is coming out, some wrong news is coming out. But what I do is try to get all the news and try to react to it as soon as I can, and that's what I always do. So today, a couple of rumors, a couple of stories are flying around. Around Arsenal, who is gonna come in the last 3 days of the window. We have let go of another player, and Edin Nketiah is also set to leave the club. So there is that kind of growing confidence in the Arsenal fan base and the footballing world, as well at large. But maybe Arsenal could pull off. Maybe Arsenal could just bring in someone in the dying days of the window. We are offloading around 5 players, but we have not brought in anyone. Could it be one? Could it be 2 players? Coming in the dying days of the window. That is what we are still waiting for. But of course, let me know down in the comments below what do you think about Arsenal's transfer window. I've spoken my mind in the last video, about how I'm really not happy with what we've done in the transfer window. But I'd love you guys to get involved more. Tell me, do you think we are really moving on the right pace? Are we really moving in the right direction? 5 players gone, no players have come in as of now. Is January that kind of window that you are really impressed with? I would really love to know. Right, so let's get to it, and I'll start off with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. We have received official approaches from 2 clubs at the moment that have been confirmed. That is AFC or FC Barcelona and Juventus. Now, according to Sky Sport, ESPN as well, those 2 clubs are much interested in signing in Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, and they would love to do that on a loan deal. However, the problem of his wages has actually not gone away. His wages are still a major huge problem, and Arsenal would either need to pay part of his wages for such a loan deal to happen, or otherwise Barcelona cannot afford those wages, as well as Juventus. What is interesting for me about Juve and Barcelona is the way they are interested in this deal. For me is a little bit shocking, because Barcelona, Juve have just signed in Dusan Vlahovic, and I just thought the fact that they've signed in Dusan, I didn't think they would actually go for another striker, but I should say they're being a little bit ambitious. Of course, we know the kind of interest they've always put in for the lad himself, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. They've always wanted him. They've always tried to push harder and harder to sign him. So we do not know exactly what and why they need him. They've got themselves one of those top class young strikers, but Juve have approached Arsenal, and officially actually, and they have told us that they want to take Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang away from the club. The problem, like I said, according to Sky Sport, is still with the wages. Barcelona as well have also officially approached Arsenal. And I think with Barcelona, it is about they desperately need to get in a striker. At least that much we know. They've tried to sign a couple of them, Alvaro Morata being one of them. I think that deal between them and Juve just couldn't happen. And that's why in the end, we didn't see it go through. We didn't see it happen. But I think, come to think of it, or just come to realize, if Barcelona can't get Alvaro Morata, then they will be looking around for that kind of cheaper deal, for that kind of cheaper striker. For me, Aubameyang would be a cheap striker if Arsenal can agree to pay maybe 50% of the wages of the player, because at the moment, Aubameyang is rumored to be earning around £350,000 per week. That is really a lot of money for a club like Barcelona that we know they're trying to clean themselves. They're trying to, find a way back, an amicable way back to the table, especially now that the biggest block for them, in that move, in that attempt is the wages and the finances. They're really not very good, in that regard. So Barcelona and Juve have approached Arsenal. We could see that deal happen in the last days of the window. Of course, we are not very sure. I'm personally not very sure if it's going to happen. It's a very difficult one, honestly. I've got to be very honest with you, lads. It's a very difficult one where I think Juve, however much, I'm impressed, honestly. I'm impressed if Juve are hearing. I'm really impressed with what they've done with Dusan Vlahovic. Yes, they're trying to offload a couple of players at the moment. At least that much we know. They're trying to offload Dejan Kulusevski. We'll talk about him later in this episode. They're trying to let go of the likes of Rodrigo Bentancur. They're trying to let go of the likes of Arthur Melo, as long as the terms are actually agreeable. So I'm still waiting very eagerly about what Juve are actually planning with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. And like I said, Barcelona, they have that kind of very difficult financial problem. They are in a very difficult financial situation, financial place. But if maybe Arsenal could just pay 20% or 50% or 30% of the wages of the player, as long as Barcelona, I think what they want as Barca, they just want to find themselves, in that space where they are okay. They just want to find themselves in that, in that area where they're okay financially. And I think they wouldn't mind taking Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang on a season-long loan deal, as long as Arsenal will be paying the wages of the player. Because our problem with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is not the wages. We are not actually, running away from paying his wages. That is not our problem. Our problem with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is the fact that, him as a player, he's always been, indisciplined. That is according to the information we have, and Mikel Arteta doesn't agree to it. He says it's not it's not acceptable. His behaviors are not acceptable. So we're still waiting for that. And of course, I'll be giving you any updates around Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, especially with those two clubs. He wants to stay in Europe, like I've reported. He received a couple of offers from abroad, Al Nassr and Al Hilal, all interested, but the player wants to stay in and around Europe. That is his major target. If it's not that, then he won't be making a move, according to what I do understand. Moving on, lads, is Eddie Nketiah is another deal that we could see in the dying days, in the dying in the dying hours of this transfer window. We've been really speaking about him very much, Eddie Nketiah. And now he has actually refused a new contract. He's told Arsenal, I want to move on. I want to go somewhere where I'm going to be appreciated. The same thing with Ainsley Maitland-Niles. What he's done, that is what Eddie Nketiah wants. And of course, Mikel came out and said, yes, he's a very interesting player. We do love him. We rate him. I rate him as a manager, and he knows how much I rate him. But Nketiah, according to Sky, is not interested in staying with Arsenal, and his major move will be, and his major priority will be moving on. Newcastle, then, lads, is the club that is interested. They're having a laugh. Absolutely, they're having a laugh. I mean, I didn't trust their idea, and this is me really being very skeptical. I didn't trust their idea of going down there to get Chris Wood. Look, Chris Wood has been the kind of top player, for Burnley, really, playing very well for them over the seasons, over the years. But for me, I didn't see it as one, as one signing that was really, really good, and they needed to take them to that level. Of course, if you look at the strikers, they wanted before getting in Chris Wood, were they desperate? They wanted the likes of Patrick Schick, they didn't get him, and then they turned over to Chris Wood. Of course, we'll have to wait and see what happens out of that, out of that, deal, if he's going to actually come around or not. But now Edin Ketia is another player that Newcastle are really, really trying to sign very hard, and according to the information I have, very, very authentic information from ESPN. They are saying that Arsenal and Newcastle have held positive talks, and talks are actually progressing on very, very well. So we should, anytime very soon, we should be expecting an announcement from Arsenal, and of course an announcement from the club itself, Newcastle, that they have signed Edin Ketia. Now, Edin Ketia, honestly, a couple of Arsenal fans think the way I do. I think he's not that Arsenal level. He's not there. He's not going to be performing at that level. We've seen it with the player, with the likes of Joe Willock. They're good players. I really trust them, and I feel they're not that bad. But if you ask me if they're Arsenal quality, if you ask me if they can play at that level where I think Arsenal should be playing, my ultimate honest answer is no. So Nketiah as well, if he gets that move rolling, he's been linked with a couple of clubs, but in the dying days, it is only Newcastle. Of course, we know Bayer Leverkusen is interested, Borussia Mönchengladbach is interested, but if Newcastle get him done, get that deal done, it will be another massive announcement. It will be another, big move for them. I think for Newcastle, at the moment, what they're trying to do is they're trying to, find anything to survive. They're trying to do anything as long as they can survive. I don't see how they can convince me. They really, really can't. That they're signing in Edin Ketia for the future, one for the future. They're just trying to get these kind of players around. Probably survive relegation, get 2 goals from Ketia, get 3 goals from Chris Wood, join the bundle, survive relegation, and then move on. And then probably after this survive relegation, they can be able to build a project like that of Aston Villa, like that of Brighton, and then start to attract really, really very good players. So Nketiah in the last 3 days is one that we could see happen, and is another one that we could actually see going over, over to Newcastle. Moving on, lads, with Arsenal transfers. I've not really spoken about this, so I feel obliged, and I really, really feel obliged to speak about it. Callum Chambers has also left the club and joined Aston Villa on a 3.5-year contract. That is a done deal. I hope you guys know about that. It's another deal that actually happened, out of the blue. I was scrolling through the internet. I didn't see any rumors. I didn't see anything like Aston Villa interested in Callum Chambers, but eventually it did happen. Just happened out. It's like it happened out of the blue. Finally, the lad is out. Finally, he's gone, and he's one of those players that I've really never rated so much. But I'm really sorry if there is anyone on this show that rated Callum Chambers so much. I mean, we've had these debates on this big channel that maybe he's that good. And people like me say maybe he's not really that good. And in the end, you've had a couple of people winning it. You have a couple of people winning that. Maybe he's he's at that level. But I've ever since signing from Southampton a couple of years ago, and Arsene Wenger, I don't feel he's come around. I don't feel he's made his mark. I don't feel Arsenal fans will be really missing him. Personally, I won't be missing him. Yes, there is that kind of mistake that I feel that we've done. We're not going to get in a right back unless otherwise. I don't see Arsenal do that unless it just happens. I don't see us getting in a full back, especially a backup right back. Tomiyasu is injured. That leaves us with only one right back. At the moment, of course, that we know that much that Ainsley has gone to Roma. So the only option that we have at the moment is Cedric Soares. Have Arsenal done the right kind of business? I'm not really sure about that. But of course, in these dying days, that one is a done deal. I can confirm. The other done deal that I can confirm when it comes to Arsenal is around Matana. Matana has also agreed everything. Deal agreed. It's going to be around 7 million euros plus 2 million euros in add-ons or bonuses to his parent club, and he will be joining us in the summer. New goalkeeper will be coming in as a backup goalkeeper to Bernard Leno. Oh no, sorry, to not Bala Leno, because Leno will be living in the summer. That is the information I have. Leno will be living in the summer, and Matana will be coming in as backup goalkeeper to Aaron Ramsdale. So in terms of Arsenal leaving, Arsenal letting players go and players leaving the club, that is what I can confirm in these days. Talks progressing well with Edin Ketia. Arsenal do have formal approaches from Juve and Barcelona for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and a couple of other deals that are really moving around. But in terms of incomings, that is where we've got to slow down a little bit, because lots of news coming in, but not much. I mean, with Arsenal fans, and I know we would really want this kind of very, very positive vibe. But I'm gonna say this, with signings incoming, there is nothing finalized as yet, apart from Matana, and he will be joining us in the summer, not this January. So Leno will be living in the summer, and Matana will be the backup goalkeeper. I'm preparing a video on 99 Sport about Matana. I'm gonna call it Welcome to Arsenal Matana. I'll be uploading it very, very probably tomorrow or today later, but I will share. I'll share it here as well. I'll share it on this channel, so you don't have to worry, feeling like I only feed people on 99 Sport. So I will share it here as well. But in terms of incomings, let's get the ball rolling. Let us start off with that Dejan Kulusevski, lads. Juventus and Arsenal with Tottenham included in the mix. They're having those talks, they're having those negotiations. Amongst them, two clubs interested from London, and interested in Dejan Kulusevski. Spurs desperate. Spurs absolutely desperate. Arsenal really, really. I don't know what I can say with Arsenal. If Spurs are desperate, they have not done any signings. Arsenal are madly desperate, because we have also not done any signings. So the information coming out from the transfer walls at the moment regarding Dejan Kulusevski is that Juve are willing to listen to offers. Arsenal have tabled their offer. Spurs have also tabled their offer. However, in the past hours, Arsenal have been leading that deal, and we thought maybe it could be the player that we are going to sign first. However, things have really, really turned very fast, and the tables have really, really turned very fast. It seems, and I repeat this, it seems seriously Dejan Kulusevski could be going to Antonio Conte's side, that is Tottenham Hotspur. Now the tweak around it, and this is where Arsenal have failed. Arsenal do want to sign Dejan Kulusevski on a loan deal with an option to buy. Juve are saying any club that comes for Dejan Kulusevski should be coming for him either for an 18-month loan with an option to buy, or a 6-month loan with an obligation to buy. Now, according to Fabrizio Romano, the information I've seen, make sure you do follow him on Twitter. You can follow me you can follow me on Twitter as well, Cossy Arsenal. That is my Twitter handle. I always retweet these stories so that we do get the best information around the deal. So what is happening here? I'm gonna be reading it for you from Fabrizio Romano 1 hour ago. Strictly, he has said Tottenham and Juve are in direct contact. Spurs asked for Dejan Kulusevski, as per David Ornstein. Juventus want an obligation to buy included in the contract to let him go. Talks are ongoing at this point. Tottenham also asked for Rodrigo Bentancur on loan, but Juve are not accepting. So the interest in Dejan Kulusevski at the moment has shifted from Arsenal to to Tottenham. They're leading that race. According to Fabrizio Romano, it looks like Kulusevski might end up at Tottenham if Arsenal do not agree to that obligation to buy. One thing I can confirm with this deal, Dejan Kulusevski would love to join Arsenal. He loves the club. He really, really, we really understand that. But there is a big problem. There's a very, very big, jump in terms of what could be a consensus between Arsenal and Juve. Of course, we've had these talks regarding Arthur Melo. It is either an 18-month loan deal with an obligation to buy, or a 6-month loan deal with an obligation to buy. If that never happens, Juve are not giving us their players. So is it time for Arsenal to walk away? Is it time for Arsenal to move on? We have already weakened our squad. We are, we are panicking. Kulusevski wouldn't be a panic buy, and I will talk about it later after giving you all the updates. Kulusevski wouldn't be a panic buy, but if Arsenal fail to get Kulusevski, I won't be surprised if they do something stupid in the last days of the window. But what I can confirm, lads, at the moment, one of those deals that we should keep an eye on until the last days of the window is Dejan Kulusevski. I've reported about him since December, and right there, yet again, lads, as we end January, I'm back with a story. But this time, Spurs are leading that race. Arsenal are understood to be interested. They are lingering in the shadows, like we have always been doing when it comes to Italian deals. Locatelli, Vlahovic, Kulusevski. We are lingering in the shadows. So we are still there, messing around in the shadows. That deal, let's wait and see. I think within the next 24 hours, it will be decided whether Dejan Kulusevski will be joining a team in London, and whether that team will be Tottenham Hotspur or Arsenal Football Club. I'll be really glad to let you know. ESPN's James Ole has come out and confirmed as well that Arsenal are weighing up. And this is one that has really got me mad, but finally I found my ground, and that's why you can see I'm really doing these stories with some kind of smile, because I've just found my I just found my spell again, and I'm okay now. James Ole, ESPN, confirming there that Arsenal are preparing a 30 million euro bid for Canadian striker playing with Lille Metropole, Jonathan David. Yeah, that is it, lads. I mean, I took a long time to pronounce the name because it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing when Cossy comes in and speaks such a thing, when I'm the same person who actually came out and said, look, lads, Lille have said they're not selling in January. A deal is actually more possible in the summer. However, there is nothing that has changed, in regarding to Lille Metropole and what they want. They want that deal to happen in the summer. The player's agent has already come out and said, yes, there are a couple of clubs that are interested in my agent, Arsenal being one of them, and a couple of clubs in Spain. However, it looks like he's not going to be moving in January. Now, according to ESPN, Arsenal do not want to know. Arsenal are not interested in knowing when the player and his agent want to move. Arsenal are madly interested in Jonathan David. They want to try to sign him in the last days of the window. What I can confirm there with that deal is that no, I'm not agreeing to that. I'm not really buying into that. It's not totally bullshit, because it's coming from a very, very reliable source, and that is James Ole's ESPN's James Ole. But it's one that Arsenal will really, really struggle to do. It's one that Arsenal will really, really struggle to get over the line. Real Sociedad have also produced information regarding their striker, Alexander Isak, and they have informed Arsenal yet again for the second time in the same month, within a fortnight. They have told Arsenal, yes, we understand you want our, junior boy, you want our, young prospect in Alexander Isak. You will have to pay 90 million euros. That is again re-echoed by Fabrizio Romano today. It's a crazy time for Arsenal. They're trying to find anything like a loophole. They're trying to find anything they can actually take advantage of. At the moment, there is nothing like that. Arsenal really, really desperate to get in a striker. Aubameyang, obviously, if Barca or Juve can agree terms, then he's gonna be getting out. Of course, we know Edin Ketia. If we block that move to Newcastle, we won't be getting any money out of his transfer. So I think Arsenal will be looking at that in that perspective. Let us get some little money out of Edin Ketia. So it looks like we're trying to bring our summer transfer targets closer, including Jonathan David and Alexander Isak. However, Real Sociedad have made themselves clear. First and foremost, they are not interested in selling. And second of all, if a player will be moving, and that is Alexander Isak, then it's going to be triggering his release clause. In terms of strikers, lads, that is all I can offer in terms of what Arsenal are really looking at in terms of getting in a striker. What exactly are we doing when it comes to building a new forward line? We are looking at those deals that are really, really hard, not easy to do. I'll be reacting them I'll be reacting to them in a couple of minutes. Moving on to the midfield, James Bank has produced information, and this is what he said. Is actually, he has actually put out this 52 minutes ago, and he has said Mohamed Elneny drawing interest from Saudi Arabia for a potential free transfer in the summer. When his Arsenal contract expires. At the rate things have happened in the last few days, you wonder how many players will be left when he goes. Of course, with Mohamed Elneny, we know he's not going to be, he's not going to be staying. With Arsenal, it's going to be moving on probably in the summer. It's not going to be in January. We've had Turkish rumors linking him with linking him with a couple of players. A couple of clubs there, in Turkey. But at the moment, there is nothing great. So it looks like he will be staying. But of course, according to James Peng, he says that deal between him and any club in the summer for free will be happening. At the moment, Saudi Arabia looks like a destination that is possible for him. In terms of Arsenal incomings in the midfield, I'm sick of it. I'm definitely sick of it, lads, because it's been a lot. It's been a lot in terms of who comes in, and who doesn't come in. This is Glenn joking around, says, "Please help us, Cossy. We need players." I mean, I've seen content creators do these videos, and it's hurting. It's very, very difficult. It's a very, very difficult time to be an Arsenal fan when your club is really spoiling what you thought was a top 4 race, what you thought was something tangible. Hopefully, we're getting signings, but at the moment, I can only report, Glenn. We are content creators and we can only report what is happening. But anyway, in terms of incomings, in terms of midfielders, 2 deals have been really, really vocal today, and that is Douglas Luiz as well as Ruben Nevez. 2 stories, 2 players that I don't think will be actually moving in January. 2 stories that I'm really sorry to say I'm struggling to believe in them. But let us start off with rumors around Ruben Nevez. Today, rumors around Ruben Nevez have actually gone as deep as saying the Arsenal have held talks or holding talks with Jorge Mendes for the player to sign as early as January in the last days of the window. Bruno Lage is determined as manager at Wolves, is really, really determined to keep the player is it the Molineux, if I'm not really mistaken. I mean, that could be is Molineux their stadium, or is it for Brighton? I could be wrong. But anyway, lads, the update is the update around Ruben Nevez is that Arsenal, I mean, it's not 100% reliable, because it's not coming from one of those big reliable sources. It's not coming from the Athletic, not Go. It's coming from one of those very, very small, tiny publications. They're trying to maybe anticipate what will happen in this January transfer window in regards to Arsenal. And what I can confirm is they are saying we have held talks. We have talks with the player, and then the other player is Douglas Luiz. It is also believed, according to ESPN, it is believed that a club in the Premier League, which is not Arsenal, did make an initial bid of around 30 million euros for the player, and Aston Villa turned the bid down. So Arsenal, that means we'll have to pay more than 30 million pounds for the signature of that man himself, Douglas Luiz. So in terms of what Arsenal are trying to do this January in the dying days, those are the deals that I can really report about. So I mean, let me know what you think about your club. Are we doing good business? Are we really not doing very good business? Right. Uh, um, Julius, let's get to some of your comments around. Julius says, guys, is that hello to us or help us? I don't know. I really do not know what that is. Gunnar React says still need a CM and central striker. We know that Arsenal have really been trying to, find players in those positions. I think I'm not in a position where I can defend Arsenal, but I can say we've been trying as much as possible to get players in those positions. We've been slow. We've not actually done it right. So honestly, will Arsenal get in a striker and a central midfielder? We are still waiting for that. Anu says, seriously, we need players. Honestly, the truth is, after losing so many players, players now, and reducing on the numbers, reducing on the squad depth. I mean, I've been crying for Christ's sake. I've been talking about Arsenal need squad depth. Arsenal just need the numbers. You need at least 2 players per position. And even before achieving that, achieving that kind of quality, we have let many of our players go. It is really fascinating. Colin says, good evening, Cossy. How are you doing, Collins? Hope you're doing well. Hillary says, let's get one done. Enough for all this speculation. Chinedu says, hi, how are you doing, Cossy? How are you doing, Chinedu? Samuel says, Arsenal's transfer today, is the joker. Colin says, I'm very sure now that Arsenal will not sign any player this January. Chris says, hi, lad, Cossy. Aubameyang had to stay. The problem was Mikel Arteta. Aaron says, good evening, Cossy. What's come may? Because we are tired of Arsenal rumors. Chris says, if we bring in David Luiz and Victor Osimhen. I've looked at Osimhen. I've looked at the rumors. I was fascinated. I was really tired. And this is Collins really frustrated, and he says, Cossy, please stop telling us about any rumors. Again, I can't do that. Really, we've got to keep the community updated. That is what we do. We are only here to hear about done deals, please. Unless we change the content, we could really change the content. I'm a content creator, so we can change other topics. And of course, I think it's only 72 hours until the window closes, so just bear with it. It's a little more. Just bear with it. Alba earns 250k plus bonuses, which makes it 350k. Says Hillary. Aaron says, but Cossy, the problem of Arsenal is about Arteta. Is it about Arteta or Edu? Look, we might want to point fingers as Arsenal fans. We want to blame anyone. We want to blame anyone that is available. But honestly, I'm not really going to blame anyone at this point in time. January is a very difficult one. I was fuming. I was mad when Bruno Guimaraes actually went out. But look, it's transfer failure, and there is nothing we can really do about it. Chris says, really need updates on Luiz since Bruno Guimaraes has failed. I don't have any updates. I'm telling you, lads, I do not have any updates. Cronky out. Julius Abubakar says, I don't think Arsenal will sign any players. And Colin says fans are not happy at all. Honestly, I do understand your position. Right then, lads, smash the like button. Do subscribe to the channel as well. I'm going to be signing out. Don't want to spend much time speaking about Arsenal rumors. It's really frustrating. So I'll speak to you later. If there is if there is any development, then I'll be doing breaking story. I rarely do breaking stories, but I'll be doing a breaking story. I'll do break the stories if there are any developments. But if they're not, then I'll try to focus on the other Arsenal content. Goodbye. Anywhere you go,